Okay, let's get into this. You've shared some pretty remarkable sources about this concept, Alligator Alcatraz.
Yeah.
We're talking about a migrant detention center in the Everglades, big announcement, lots of fanfare, and then, well,
Then it sort of hit a swampy snag, you could say. Literally.
right. So the idea here is just to walk through what these sources are saying about this very unique approach.
Well, what's really fascinating, I think, is how it instantly became, and this is a quote, more Splash Mountain than maximum security.
On day
On the
one.
very first day, yeah. Apparently, it was a quarter inch of, seasonal rain was enough to flood it.
Quarter inch.
Which does make you wonder, right? Should security be measured in, inches of precipitation now?
Because if that's the metric.
Then, yeah, this place is about as secure as maybe a canoe with a hole in it.
And then there's the security staff. The alligators, the low-wage security, as President Trump apparently called them.
Because, quote, you don't have to pay them so much. Exactly. And he even gave escape advice, apparently. Something about zigzag running.
Improves your odds by about 1%, the sources claim.
1%. Okay. So you might end up with reptilian roommates.
Or, my favorite description, gators who failed the TSA exam.
Right. And these roommates, they'd be living with people in what's described as a swampy mess of soggy tents. There were videos showing water, pooling right around electrical cables.
Which sounds less than ideal.
Less than ideal, yeah. More like a, quote, minimalist spa treatment, or maybe just, an accidental electrocution scenario. The planning seems questionable.
Definitely. Critics obviously jumped on it, calling it dehumanizing, grotesque political theater.
But the defenders had their line, too.
They did. It was the best natural perimeter money can't buy.
Right, complete with, 28,000 feet of barbed wire?
And, crucially, thousands of incompetent alligators in waiting. It's certainly a take on natural security.
It is. And this environment apparently spurred some pretty wild political commentary, too, according to the sources.
Oh, yeah.
Like DHS Chief Kristi Noem's really sensational claim about a cannibal migrant mid-arm snacking on a flight.
And instead of a hospital.
Sent straight to the swamp facility. That's what's reported.
Wow. And she wasn't alone in these kinds of comments, was she?
No, Stephen Miller apparently defended the flooding, said it wasn't dehumanizing because, quote, discovering one's inner alligator builds character.
Builds character.
Right.
Nothing like a swampy cuddle puddle for personal growth.
Exactly. And Governor DeSantis apparently thought migrants would just deport on their own to avoid the place.
Self-deportation via alligator avoidance.
Okay. And DHS reportedly leaned into the fear factor. They released AI-generated memes showing alligators wearing icy hats.
AI-generated memes.
Yeah, because, and this is their explanation, fear sells. It's definitely a PR strategy.
It is a strategy.
Okay.
And this whole Alligator Alcatraz thing, it actually inspired imitators.
Yeah.
Or at least satirical proposals.
Oh, absolutely. These sources mention satirists pitching other wacky natural security prisons, like Shark Island.
Which was a reopened Alcatraz.
Yeah, with Trump supposedly joking about, revenge of the sea lions.
But then admitting the sharks in the bay are mostly pettable sharks anyway.
Right. Then you had mock-ups like Rattlesnake Roundup Ranch in Arizona, tents ringed with copperheads.
And featuring Rattlesnake Boot Camp. Naturally.
Naturally. Or for a warmer option, Volcano Perimeter Camp in Hawaii.
Near active lava flow. With lava watches.
Exactly. And maybe the chilliest idea?
Has to be the Penguin Polar Bastille in Alaska.
Arctic tundra lockdown. The idea being these hyper-chill, flightless birds would somehow encourage escapees to shuffle back inside for warmth.
It paints a picture. The sources summed up the vibe as less orange is the new black, more National Geographic's Hunger Games.
Which seems about right. But, beyond the absurdity, there's a serious point in the sources, too, about the environment.
Right, the actual Everglades. Tribal groups like the Miccosukee and Seminole were strongly against it.
Yeah, they condemned it. Said it damaged sacred land, critical wildlife habitats, and they pointed out something pretty stark.
What was that?
That there hadn't been an environmental impact study, apparently, since 1974. They called it a medieval moat with gators.
So putting it all together, what are we looking at here? These sources seem to paint Alligator Alcatraz as well.
As peak headline-grabbing absurdity, maybe. Something that just keeps people talking, regardless of the practicality.
Yeah, it really highlights how extreme ideas can sometimes dominate the conversation, almost creating their own kind of reality.
Exactly. It
Yeah.
sort of makes you ask, who needs due process when you've got natural deterrence and wildlife cameos?
It does raise that question.
At this rate, maybe the real crime is just running out of bizarre prison concepts.